Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, I am what you need. You're watching my channel. We're going to talk some boxing. I hope everybody's doing well. First thing we're going to talk about is the lightweight division. And once again, this is a live stream, so you guys can participate. Leave your comments in the comment section, or you can leave your comments right here. As well as, if you like this video, you can like, share, subscribe, donate by Western Union on MoneyGram. The lightweight division is very interesting, especially with the elite lightweights. We're talking about Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, still Gervonta Davis. He may move down, of course, to super featherweight, face Leo Santa Cruz, Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko, Luke Campbell, Jorge Linares, Javier Fortuna, Urquis Gamboa, etc. The nice thing about the lightweight division is we're finally getting some official word and dates on possible matchups. So let's talk about it a little bit. We know that Javier Fortuna, he would be facing Jorge Linares, and we actually have a date for that. I believe it's September of this year. Of course, these dates are kind of tentative in the sense of what will happen in the COVID-19 environment, and we don't know what the turnout will be. But the way how the trend of things is going, we have to assume that the turnout will be somewhere around, maybe half of the figures that you would normally have. Okay, but there will be a turnout. It seems so fans will be able to go to these venues. So having that nailed down is really great. We also have another set of matchups. We have the matchup where the WBC has just ordered Ryan Garcia to match up against Luke Campbell. Again, excellent matchup. And we saw that Leonard Elby actually had something to say about that. He thought that Luke Campbell would be a perfect matchup for Ryan Garcia. And he thinks that Ryan Garcia will have the opportunities to clip Luke Campbell and probably knock him down, even stop. So I would love to see what happens with that fight. And we're looking at also possible matchups between Devin Haney and some top tier lightweight. Of course, we know that Vasily Lomachenko is now scheduled for September. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. So that fight is on. And the only one that we're not too sure about is Devin Haney. Who's Devin Haney going to match up? We know Gervonta Davis is going down to 130, and he's going to be facing Leo Santa Cruz, right? So the only guy that we don't know how he's going to be matched up is Devin Haney. Oh, some talk about him facing Jorge Linares, but whoever he faces, it should be a good test for Devin Haney, hopefully, and seeing it coming out of COVID-19. Now remember, we still haven't gotten the okay for fans to be able to participate in these fights. So everything's still sort of semi-tentative as to what will happen, but even hearing about Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia, that sounds great. But how that's going to actually operate and how many fans, how many people are going to be there is still up in the air. But we'll see how everything goes. Now, what's nice about the lightweight division, and feel free, as I said before, to chime in at any point in time. What's really nice about the lightweight division is that it is a division where we're getting matchups and concrete matchups now. We're hearing official words. It's not just rumor mill. It's not just guys throwing names around, but we actually have some dates. So how would these possible matchups work out? How would a Jorge Linares versus a Javier Fortuna turn out? Well, we saw Jorge Linares train. Well, One of the people who commented on Jorge Linares versus Javier Fortuna, that matchup, was, if I'm mistaken, I'm trying to remember who the person was said that. They picked Jorge Linares to win. I'm trying to remember who it was that said that. But anyway, whoever it was, they favored Jorge Linares to win that matchup, something like that. Me personally, what do I think? I haven't really looked at both fighters in a little while. I know Jorge Linares is a guy that mostly fights on the outside. He's not really an inside fighter. Um, but he does work the body pretty good with his left hooks. And Javier Fortuna, I heard, is more of a rough, scrappy-ish sort of fighter from the Dominican Republic. Both fighters have been knocked out. What do I think? I think that is a good matchup, and I can't really say if it becomes a rough and rugged fight. That favors Javier Fortuna. If it stays sort of textbook, relatively clean, it favors Jorge Linares, who's the better of the two boxers. So if I was to put my money on it, I would say Jorge Linares will take that one, seeing how sharp he is as well. And I think that matchup goes to Jorge Linares. I'm not quite sure why. I haven't given detailed information on it. I haven't actually looked at both fighters in detail, but that's how I would look at it. If you ask me about Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell's a quality corrector, and he's not just going to go nowhere. He's not going to just lay down. He's a big lightweight, as is Ryan Garcia. Ryan's very fast. Ryan is learning at a phenomenal rate. That would be a good challenge for him because Luke Campbell has been at the championship level, has faced two world champions now. He's got a lot of experience behind him, a lot of science behind him. He's not just somebody you can easily dismiss. He's young as well. He's strong. He's a southpaw at that. So all of those things really work to Luke Campbell's advantage, whereas Ryan Garcia has shown that he's improved by leaps and bounds. He's never faced that kind of level of competition, so it'll be interesting to see how he showcases his skills there. He showed he has some pop with his speed. I would have to see how Ryan Garcia would do against Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell has a proven track record. Ryan Garcia doesn't have a proven track record at, with quality opposition. So that would be an interesting test for Ryan Garcia. He has shown us a couple techniques and skills that he has. His check hook of a guy who, Javante Davis couldn't get out of there until much later on. So it would be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia performs against Luke Campbell. That would tell us a lot about what level he's at. And we could compare that with, Vasily Lomachenko and Jorge Linares, how they did against Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell having gained so much experience from those two fights. It should be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia does against him. Now, unfortunately, Luke Campbell becomes kind of a litmus test for how far Ryan Garcia would have progressed in his career. But it is still something to see. Ryan Garcia, of course, training all the time. Kind of fell out with Oscar De La Hoya over the failed negotiations to land the Jorge Linares fight. So now he may have, because the WBC ordered this, it doesn't necessarily mean that the fight would happen, but the fact that they kind of mandated this is great. Hopefully, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy will take this opportunity because I do believe that Luke Campbell is a DAZN fighter as well as is Ryan Garcia at this point. So that would be a great matchup. Now, whether it will actually come to pass or not is based on Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Hopefully, Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya jumps at this opportunity to showcase their fighter and show what kind of level he's at. Or they may just do the same thing and kind of wait it out and allow Ryan to just fester with more anger. Either way, Ryan is ready. He wants to jump up and face some really solid level competition. I think that Luke Campbell is that competition for him. I mean, the only thing that was better than that was Jorge Linares, who's a two-time world champion at lightweight. So that would have been great for him to face Jorge Linares. But if you can't get Jorge Linares, Luke Campbell's obviously the better of the two choices. He's fresher and he has experience at the championship level, even though he's never became world champion. And nicely for him, he's also got the experience of facing Vasily Lomachenko and Jorge Linares. So that would be a good test for Ryan Garcia, and we'll see if he can pass the test. As of now, who am I going to pick? Well, let's see. Luke Campbell is a well-schooled, well-versed fighter. The problem with Luke Campbell is he's still not strong enough on the inside. I don't know how strong Ryan Garcia is, but he showed that he has pop and he has power. Luke Campbell doesn't have that kind of power, or does he? I don't know, because see, Ryan Garcia hasn't stepped up to the level where we could really know what kind of power he really has. But what we know is he handled his last opponent better than, or at least faster, should I say, than Gervonta Davis did. And Gervonta Davis had that opponent as well. So they shared a common opponent. Now, of course, Ryan Garcia would love to face Gervonta Davis, but before he can do that, he's going to have to step up to the plate and face one of his, at least on paper, it should be one of his tougher tasks at hand. In fact, the toughest task at hand in his career so far, which is not really saying much, but whatever. Um, Gervonta Davis had his Jose Pedraza. Okay, so Gervonta Davis has stepped up to the championship level and faced Jose Pedraza. Okay, the other guy that he faced, which was what was it, Cesar? Uh, I forgot what his name was. He was a featherweight, moved up to super featherweight. He was also former world champion. They were vying for the WBA super featherweight championship. That guy wasn't as well. He didn't appear to be as tough a task as a Jose Pedraza, both skill wise and also in terms of just the record he had. So I still say that Javante Davis's best win to date is Jose Pedraza. But you have Ryan Garcia now, and he is going to have Luke Campbell, which is a experienced um, fighter at this point in time. I think that Luke Campbell would have a lot more experience than Ryan Garcia. So if I was to pick, I'm going to pick based on my knowledge and the experience. I'm going to go with the experienced guy in this case, which would be kind of dumb, but nonetheless, I think I favor Luke Campbell over Ryan Garcia at this point in time, which is not saying much because my opinion could change as the course of if the fight even comes off. I would favor Luke Campbell to beat Ryan Garcia. Now it depends on where this fight would take place. Is it going to take place in the O2 Arena in the UK, or is it going to happen across in the United States in Las Vegas, Nevada? That would be the question. And if it's in Las Vegas, Nevada, I give Ryan much more of a chance, seeing he has home court advantage over Luke Campbell. If it happens in the O2 Arena, eh, favor Luke Campbell over Ryan Garcia, especially if it goes to the decision. Um, so that's how I look at it. I would give Luke Campbell the edge on this one because of his experience, the fact that he faced Jorge Linares, the fact that he faced um, Vasily Lomachenko and did so well against Vasily Lomachenko, even though he got dropped late in the fight. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, Ryan Garcia. So the whole point is that Ryan Garcia is not proven. That's my argument right at this point in time. Doesn't necessarily mean that I favor Ryan Garcia. By the way, smash that like button if you're watching this. Doesn't mean that I actually favor Lomachenko over Ryan Garcia to win the fight in the sense of skills. I think Ryan Garcia has shown he has, well, obviously he has blistering hand speed, he has quick feet, quick hands, he's sharp, he's the next generation of fighter. Luke Campbell's solid. So me favoring Luke Campbell doesn't really say much because once again, you're talking about, you're talking about a a young fighter who's showing all the potential to become a superstar and should probably win this fight with Luke Campbell. That's why I said Luke Campbell's kind of like the litmus test. But because he's unproven, I said, well, I'll go with the proven fighter. But obviously, skill wise, I think Ryan Garcia is much more skilled than Luke Campbell. I think that he is sharper, he's faster, um, you know. So, but even given all those things, he's unproven. He's been sharp, fast. He looked really great against guys who are not necessarily top tier guys in the division. You know, So let's see what he can do against a top tier guy. And I think the top tier guy has faced top tier guys in the division. So I just favor Luke Campbell over him. Only for that reason, not anything else. Ryan Garcia, if I would include all the other factors, then I'll pick Ryan Garcia, hands down. Okay. But I just decided to go with experience against my better judgment and say I would favor Luke Campbell in that fight. But I wouldn't be surprised. Clearly, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Garcia lives up to what he really is and he gets Luke Campbell out of there within 7 rounds. All right. I mean, stop Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell's not a guy that you can just stop. Okay. Luke Campbell's got too much determination, too much will. But Ryan just overwhelming him with not just his speed, but just the placement of his punches, just his IQ. And I think that alone could really give Luke Campbell all kinds of problems from round 1 all the way up to round 7 when he gets stopped or the referee stops the fight, one of the two. But I could see that fight easily going where Ryan Garcia kind of almost blows over Luke Campbell, overwhelms him. And that's a very real possibility. But if it goes to decision, I would favor Luke Campbell at this point in time. I may be absolutely wrong, and then Ryan Garcia shocks me and beats him by unanimous decision or beats him by a wide margin, which would be not too surprising to me because Ryan Garcia, he's not just fast, he's technical. He's technical. Even when you look at those fast combos, he's very technical with his combos. He's displaying defense. He's displaying combinations. He's displaying, and I've been talking about very combinations. When Ryan Garcia is throwing those fast punches, a lot of people are not really, because it's so fast, you're not really paying attention to the fact that he's throwing uppercuts, hooks, jabs. He's blocking the punches. And I'm talking shoulder roll blocking, okay? He's doing all of that in a split second, okay? He's fast, but he's fast with variety. And that's why Ryan's saying, you guys don't even understand what you're seeing in front of you. You think it's just speed. You think I'm just doing speed. I'm not doing speed. I'm doing some of the things that Mayweather be doing, but I'm doing it so fast, you guys are not following what I'm doing. And, Ryan Garcia's got a lot going on. And I think Leonard Elby and Gervonta Davis recognize this and respect him for it. He's got quite a lot. But I get to see all of that on display, unfortunately. We are yet to see Ryan Garcia for what he really is. And I think Ryan Garcia wants to feature that so much, But Oscar's trying to pace him and make him take his time. That's why I say I wasn't against Oscar when he didn't allow him to have the Luke, after Luke Campbell fight, Ryan Garcia was like, man, I don't want to fight no fight right now. I want somebody substantial. I really want to step up my game. I want to follow through with that. And y'all should have landed the Jorge Linares fight. So I get where Ryan Garcia is coming from, but my thing was, I know he didn't want to concede. He was like, I ain't fighting until I get a quality opponent. That's when Ryan Garcia just laid down the law on Oscar. And I think that Oscar didn't like that because Oscar, his better judgment is, we're trying to bring you along. And matchmakers put up this, and Ryan's like, I ain't fighting till you give me a quality opponent. So I think that's the little rift between Oscar and Ryan that's going on. And Ryan ain't playing. Ryan's like, look, you don't understand, Oscar. You're my promoter and everything, but look, bro, we don't want to clash forever. And of course, Jamel Charlo, they're saying that there's somebody whispering in Ryan's ear, and that probably is Jamel Charlo. And Jamel Charlo actually holding up to it. And I think that Jamel Charlo's like, man, you need to get paid more. And they're probably talking, okay? But I think in this case, I would have had Ryan. I mean, I'm not Ryan, but if I was Ryan, I would have just followed through what I was going. Okay, but I think Ryan's saying, I ain't giving up no ground on this. we gonna butt heads for a long time, like how Mayweather and Bobby Arum butt heads. Because I'm looking to become a superstar. I ain't trying to play. Oscar, I ain't playing no games, Ninja. You fortunate to have me. Not the other way around like that. I mean, I'm fortunate to have you. But I could have had anybody. You know what I'm saying? Ryan ain't playing. And Oscar don't like that. So Oscar want to go with Virgil Ortiz because Virgil Ortiz sound like yes, yes. His father looking out for his well being though. Virgil Ortiz's father looking out for his back. Because he understands just because you with a promotional company and so on, and they have a track record of helping out, don't mean you got to look out for your own. So you can see Virgil Ortiz, his father's pretty smart, and Virgil Ortiz, and they plodding along, but don't get it twisted. Oscar's like, my boy is Virgil Ortiz now. It's not you, Ryan, because Ryan, everybody's saying Ryan's a diva. Ryan know what he's doing. Let me tell you this: Ryan knows what he is worth. Ryan knows what he's. Trust me. And I remember Javante Davis saying it. He said the next superstar is Ryan Garcia. He was right, and y'all gonna see it. And Ryan gonna blow up bigger than Canelo, way bigger than Canelo. Ryan knows what he's doing. Ryan knows what team he has. He knows his team supports him. So Ryan knows exactly what he's doing. And Oscar is pretty much aware Ryan's not just a yes guy. He's not just gonna say yes. Ryan is going to manage his company and his business appropriately. So, and Canelo's backing him up in a sort of way because Canelo has his own company as well. And Canelo also is going to decide what Canelo want to do next. It's not going to be Oscar deciding what Canelo does next. Even though Oscar trying to pressure Canelo to face Triple G, Canelo's going to determine what he does next, not Oscar. And I think Oscar needs to understand, but I think he does. And he gets it. I mean, he was one of the guys that actually moved his own way and did his own thing as well. So it wouldn't be surprising that, and just these guys seem such as Floyd, and Floyd dictated his own career and stuff. These young fighters now, they're not playing. They have their little companies. They have their own promotional companies and already have boxers under them. They're not playing. They're already, we saw Adrian Broner do it. We saw right now we have Devin Haney's doing it. Canelo already had that, and he had fighters under him. Nobody's really talking about it, but he does have fighters under him. We have Mika Cotto did it, and he has fighters under him. Manny Pacquiao did it, he has fighters under him. Jamal Charlo have fighters under them. This is the way how boxing is going now. Boxers are actually now their own promoters. And so it's a different age and a different era. Oscar can't just try and just dictate things, even though he was one of the pioneers of this. He should appreciate and understand that and respect that. Floyd respects Devin Haney as a boxer / promoter that Devin Haney is. His father's the manager. So, and Mikey Garcia is another one of them. And Mikey Garcia, by the way, co-promoted with Eddie Hearn, as Devin Haney's co-promoting with Eddie Hearn as well, as Mayweather co-promoted with Golden Boy, right, for a good period of time. So I think a lot of people not realizing this is the new generation of boxers and boxing, and you just have to respect it for what it is. Going back to what I was saying about the lightweight division. So with Ryan Garcia, even though I picked Luke Campbell to beat Ryan Garcia, there is a caveat to it. And the caveat is I'm just going purely on experience at the championship level. Okay? The reality of the situation is more likely that Ryan Garcia, I said it. I said that Luke Campbell is the litmus test for Ryan Garcia. Okay? The reality of the situation is I could pick the way I pick. It would change depending. But the reality of the situation is that Ryan Garcia more than likely would blow out Luke Campbell within 7 rounds. That's the reality of the situation. But I'm going to pick the way I pick, and I'm going to stay with it, which is I'm not playing two sides of the court here. I'm going to pick what I pick. I'll pick Luke Campbell to beat Ryan Garcia, and we're going to stay with that for the moment. I might change my pick. Right, Javante Davis, he's moving down to 130. 130 is a very hot division, and we'll talk about that some other time. But Devin Haney is the only guy that we don't really have him matched up with anybody as yet. So we'll see how he gets matched up, and that would tell us. But Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. As it goes again, I'm going to go with the experience route for now. I'm going to say Lomachenko beats Teofimo Lopez. But honestly, Teofimo Lopez's strategy versus Lomachenko is a very interesting strategy. So the interesting strategy about that is Teofimo Lopez is going in there to use his size and his mass against Lomachenko, which means he's going to infight Lomachenko, kind of like what Orlando Salido did. He's going to put pressure on Lomachenko. Now, never really seen Teofimo Lopez fight on the inside, and he didn't show he had good inside work against the tall Japanese dude who he faced, who gave him a lot of problems. But and then after that, he said he didn't want to fight tall fighters. I remember him saying something stupid like that. But I think that Teofimo Lopez, if he can execute his game plan, now he has to be able to execute the game plan, whatever it is. Says he want to make it rough, rugged for Lomachenko, use his size and weight against him, and wear him down. And then after wearing him down, he'll look to stop him. That's a great game plan. It could work or it could backfire on him. It depends on how much boxing he utilizes. If he's applying smart pressure and he's boxing the right way as he's supposed to, he'll get to the inside of Lomachenko and he'll do whatever he wants to do after that. He's going to have to cut off the ring on Lomachenko to be able to do that. He'll have to outbox him on the outside. Lomachenko don't fight on the outside. He can't fight. He can't outfight you. He can't outbox you. So if you stay on the outside of Lomachenko or deep in the pocket on the inside of Lomachenko, he's got nothing for you. He is a mid-range fighter. He's excellent in mid-range. That's it. So if you fight him on the outside, or you fight him on the inside, Luke Campbell was successful fighting him on the outside. Orlando Salido was successful fighting him on the inside. And you rough him up on the inside, use your size and mass to move him around, rough him up. Lomachenko is physically strong. He's a pretty physically strong guy for his size. So that's not as easy as it sounds to rough up Lomachenko like that. But if Teofimo Lopez, Lopez got to be strong. It's not just about your size. Like Lopez thing with Lopez, right? He a good fighter. He talk a lot, a game, but as we see, he can't necessarily always walk the game that he's talking. On this occasion, he's going to have to walk the game that he's talking. So it's one thing to think that you can just physically get to the inside of Lomachenko. That's not going to be easy to do. I'm going to tell you two reasons why. Lomachenko's feet, this is his strength, his feet. Okay, he moves his feet very well. He has great cardio. He moves around his opponents very, very well. He can maintain distance very well. So if you're going to advance to Lomachenko, you got to get behind your jab. First thing, you got to get behind your jab. You got to be a good boxer. You got to be a very good boxer on the outside, and then you have to be able to move that from outside to inside transition in such a manner that you can slip right to the inside of Lomachenko. Now, to do that, remember, Lomachenko can sidestep you as you're trying to get to the inside of him. Okay, that's not no easy task to get to the inside of Lomachenko. You're not just gonna get in the inside of Lomachenko just like that. That's what he do. His strength, Lomachenko's strength is his feet, his footwork. Okay, he's not great with the upper body movement. He's not great with fighting on the outside or on the inside. So if you get on the inside and you get him on the inside, you can work him. Okay, once you get your body up on him. You got to get your body up on him and pin him down, okay? And that's not as easy as it sounds. You know, that's some Miko Cotto stuff we're talking about, to be able to pin him down. How Cotto pinned down Floyd. It means you got to break the Marcos of Queensberry rules at certain points in time. You're going to have to establish that you're physically stronger than him, which means putting into consideration you're going to have to disrupt his rhythm. Yeah, but you're going to have to physically break the Marcos of Queensberry rules, rough him up a little bit. You're gonna have to break some of them rules. We're talking about low blows. We're talking about sometimes, checking him with a body punch. When I say low blow, I hit him in the hip, hitting him in, you don't have to hit him with a groin, but hit him in the hip, check him. We call it body checking, where you body check him with your forearm. You're gonna have to body check him. You're gonna pin him in place with a collapsed forearm. You're gonna get penalized. You might even get disqualified. But you got to brand those Marcos of Queensberry rules, and you got to rough him up. You got to break him up, as we call it. You got to keep him in place. You got to try and head control him. Head control him. Keep him in place. You're head controlling him. When you get him up against the ropes, you bang him. You're banging him. But every now and then, you dip that head right down. and you're coming in with the head. You might headbutt him, whatever. But you got to rough him up. And if you don't know how to rough up a fighter, you don't know how to sneakily get in shots that you're not supposed to get, kidney shots, and catch him in the back of the head with some rabbit punches. You gotta rough him up because he's that good. Okay, he's good at maintaining the range that he has. He knows how to sidestep you quite well. He'll feint you one way and then he'll sidestep you the other. He has brilliant hand feints. He can feint you 3, 4, 5 times with a feint real fast and fluid. That's the strength of Lomachenko. Okay, lateral movements are very good. And we're talking advanced lateral movement, just not just lateral movement, but he's closing the gap on you as he's moving sideways. So he's not no easy guy to just say you're gonna just body him and put your weight down on him. And no, and you gotta have decent defense. You gotta have defense as he's coming at you, and then you mount your assault. So, Teofimo Lopez has a good game plan. Game plans make sense. The range, you gotta fight him outside of his preferred range. You do that, you're gonna get him. You're gonna get him. You're gonna win. But as easy as that sounds, now the thing about Lomachenko is, while he prefers to go weak side, he may not go weak side. He may come straight down the center on you just to get you disrupted because you anticipate him going weak side. So he'll do various things. He may even go to the strong side with your strong hand and try and get to you before you get to him. Be first. He'll try to be first on you, on your strong side. And that's just to keep your hands at home and keep you from trying to execute what he really wants to do, which is go weak side and exploit you. So if you don't understand those things and you don't understand boxing, and the other thing is he tries to get dominant foot position on you as a southpaw to unorthodox. If you don't understand these simple things that I'm telling you, and then you need to understand it, and then you be able to execute the neutralization of that. If you don't know how to neutralize in those ways, he's gonna run you over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what game plan you say you're going to do against Lomachenko. Okay? So yeah, I favor Lomachenko to win that fight, but I would say that Teofimo Lopez has a good chance of beating Lomachenko in that fight as well. That's the lightweight division. We just covered that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the Tyson Fury Glovegate situation. With the Tyson Fury situation, I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV. And one thing about me is I don't really just listen to information, but there's a lot of information going around and a lot of Wilder fans saying things about Tyson Fury that just are totally inaccurate and just stupid. So I know I'm not even going to engage those things. But this bit of information again is damning. It's damning, and there is a precedent to it. So the information now that's coming out is that Tyson Fury and the gloves that Tyson Fury used to face Deontay Wilder in the second fight, apparently the distribution of the padding in the gloves, it's possible that the distribution of the padding of the gloves was such that the knuckle area again was unprotected. So in the first fight, Tyson Fury used in his left glove, his hand was in the bottom half of the glove. So if this is the glove here, okay, the hand was here in the glove. So this part of the glove, there were no fingers, there was no thumb in there. Now, one of the things that was wrong and inaccurate was where some people were talking about how Tyson Fury, in his fight against, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, whatever his name was before the Klitschko fight and all that he didn't have his thumb in the glove. And that was not the case. When I looked at the fight, the glove had a tear in it, and so they stopped it to get regloved, stop the fight so they can get the fight regloved. That was all that was about. But with the case of the Deontay Wilder fight, definitely the glove, the hand appeared to be in this part of the glove. So look, all the glove here, the glove is up here, and so all of this is just squiggly. So even if I punch a guy, you say I can punch him with my knuckles here, or catch him with these knuckles here. Now in the second fight, he used a different pair of gloves, different kind of gloves as well, different maker of gloves. And in that, it seems as though the knuckle area of the glove was the padding was removed from that. Now, even though it's a horsehair glove, even though it's a puncher's glove, um, the knuckle area of the gloves was still something where even if you have horsehair on the glove, there's still padding for the glove. All right, or more horsehair in this area, but the distribution of the stuff seemed to be more towards this part of the glove than the front of the glove. And what is noted is that Deontay Wilder had injuries over his ear. Now, some people are saying his eardrum wasn't busted. Some people are saying eardrum was busted. But from what I learned, his eardrum wasn't busted. So how come he had a cut, first of all, on his ear from a punch? Your ear is not going to get cut from a punch with a padded glove. It's just not going to happen. So, and then he also had a swelling somewhere here, and that was commensurate with if somebody hits you with a knuckle, because bare knuckle brawl, as you saw with Paulie Malignaggi versus the MMA fighter, you get bruised much easily because the knuckles make direct contact with the bone, and so the skin is peeled back much more easily, and you have more knots in the skin. And from the doctor's report, it seemed as though Deontay Wilder had been hit with some sort of, they were saying, blunt object, and that would have been Tyson Fury's knuckles. So from the accumulation of information, and also the fact that when we look at the camera footage where the guy goes and turns off the camera, we see that for some reason we see the commission's agent walking out of the room. So I don't know if it's somebody called them or something and everybody had to move out the room for some reason, for whatever reason, but they were moving away, which means Tyson Fury and the people who were there with him, I don't believe Jay Diaz was there. I don't know if Jay Diaz was there or not. Jay Diaz probably was or wasn't. I don't know. But they left the room, leaving just Tyson Fury and his people in the room. Which is very interesting because, well, anyway. So Mauricio Suleiman was in the room. I remember seeing a piece of footage with Ben Davis where we saw Mauricio Suleiman come into the room, talk to Tyson Fury, and apparently he left. And Mauricio Suleiman was saying that he actually was present to see both guys glove up, and he was to some degree because we saw him talking to Tyson Fury afterwards. So he's not lying about that. But what I could say is that I don't know if he was present when they were actually putting on the gloves, So regardless, the important thing here is that apparently those gloves, and again, the maker of Rival Boxing and Amir Khan also spoke on this issue. And Amir Khan was one who spoke about how you can just, have the owner or maker of gloves, whether it's Grant Gloves or whether it's Rival Gloves or whoever, you can recommend, okay, just kind of distribute the padding in the gloves so that I could get more punch with my knuckles. So again, Tyson Fury not necessarily breaking any rules per se. In a way, it's kind of within the gray area of the legal confines, kind of like with the glove issue, where he wore his hand further up the glove. There is no rule steadfast as to how to distribute padding inside the gloves, so that the commissions don't check those things. Floyd Mayweather did check for Marcus McDonough. And again, it's not necessarily a legal thing that Marcus McDonough redistributes padding in the glove because the glove's still weighed and it's 8 ounces. But unless you actually go in there, because remember, Tyson Fury had a history of doing this with a sparring partner who found out that the padding in his gloves was redistributed, and they removed all the padding from the front part of his gloves, so he was really punching with his knuckles. And Asbury, I think, was the guy's name. And so he did that. It seems as though he did that again to get the sort of dramatic effect of the blood and stuff with Deontay Wilder. And also the dramatic effect of just punching with your knuckles. And as like Floyd said, this is boxing, it's not bare knuckle brawl, with Marcus McDonough. And probably that's why Marcus McDonough had so much bloody opponents. because he probably would distribute the padding in such a way that he, this is what he wanted. He wanted that kind of effect. And maybe again, once again, I hear lots of people say, "Well, punches gloves is always like that," and I say, no. But the problem here is that the horse here, which is supposed to be distributed evenly throughout the glove, is not being distributed evenly throughout the glove. That's the point with Mayweather versus Marcus Maidana, and that's why Mayweather was like, "No, no, no, this is a no go." Okay, because literally when you push in on the glove, it's sinking in, and that's not supposed to happen with punches gloves. Okay, so Mayweather actually had to pay out of pocket for that to get Marcus Maidana new gloves, and he didn't have a problem with that. And I think that he gave him the same gloves that Canelo actually uses, puncher gloves that Canelo uses, which are safer gloves, power lock gloves, they're called. Um, and Marcus Maidana in the second fight also fought with power lock gloves. They were saying as pillows, but they were not pillows. They're punches gloves, but they're power lock gloves, not to protect your hands per se, but also to protect the health and safety of the opponent. And I wish that commissions would start to regulate this, regulate the gloves, check the gloves inside the gloves, particularly on opening when the boxes are putting the gloves on and stuff. That the commission, if not a commission agent, at least the opposing uh, um, camp should be able to sample these gloves. It's kind of like when Freddie Roach is there watching the gauze put on Floyd's hands and stuff like that. That they regulate and decide what is happening, what is not happening, because I think that the commissions are still willy nilly on this, and they need to be more serious about it. So when the commission says we're doing all we possibly can, no, you're not doing all you possibly can. If a guy decides to remove all the padding from his glove and put on that glove, you're not paying attention to that because you will not see that just like that. Now there's some photos out there of Tyson Fury's knuckles being seen through the gloves that when he was fighting with Deontay Wilder, and they say that Tyson Fury and his camp pull those pictures or whatever. I don't really care what they do, okay? Because if it's true, we have video footage of it. And they can't pull all the video footage of this stuff, so it's pointless for them to do something like that. So I don't know if they were behind it or not. But my point is that yeah, of course, I believe that there was foul play in the second fight as well. With not necessarily. See, the problem with this is, technically speaking, you can't call it foul play, but it is foul play when they moved the padding from the gloves, and I think that's what he did. He moved the padding, redistributed the padding to the back of the gloves, the horsehair and stuff to more to the back of the gloves, or they took it out, or they got the manufacturer to redistribute the padding. Say, I want more less padding so I can use my knuckles against this guy. Okay. And so Tyson Fury did everything he possibly could so that he get the fight that he wanted to have. But of course, ethically, it wasn't right. So that's where he's being found out. Now, Mauricio Suleiman was again trying to back his WBC champion, as we expect him to do. He did that also with the woman 168-pound champion, Jimenez, I think it was, when she faced Cruz. Okay. And Cruz is now a champion. Jimenez is she's been removed as champion. And Suleiman came out and tried to defend Jimenez, but at the end of the day, Cruz had to get back her title after the VADA found that Jimenez definitely had been doping, and Jimenez looked like she was doping, and so there you go. And she was removed as champion. And Suleiman has never come out with a statement of apology, redacting his statements, which is sad. Mauricio Suleiman is a guy who he's starting to look more and more shady in my eyes, and that's sad because he did a great job up till he started doing this franchise championship thing, and even the issue with Canelo and tainted meat, the way how he presented the information. I'm not saying that he was behind it because it's obviously Wilder changed their rules, but it's the thing that the way how he behaves. He's very partisan in how he's behaving now. And I get that the WBC needs to defend their champions and make their champions look good and stuff. But Mauricio Suleiman, you've got to be fair. You have to think about fairness. And right now, the franchise championship is just a ridiculous notion, which you guys are going to have to redact at some point. You're going to have to pull it back and just forget about it. All right. Because you're doing this thing, this franchise championship for guys like Canelo and guys like Lomachenko. And I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's favoritism, it's manipulation of the system. And the WB, it's bringing the WC into disrepute and into poor light. And then now you defending guys, people who are guilty. And this is not, again, I'm not personally like, I don't have any agenda behind this, but it just looks terrible when you're defending a guy who you're not going to investigate. You should be investigating the glove issue. You should not be trying to defend Tyson Fury's innocence or cleanliness on this issue, or try, at least you should be looking into this, the commissions and sanctioning bodies, having someone check these gloves. You need to do, at least do something about it. you know you're not showing that you want to do anything about it. You just want to continue as usual, and that's a precedent. And this is the problem with the issue of the Glovegate. It didn't matter if it was a white or a black person. Okay. It's just the issue. Now I know there are some Deontay Wilder fans. I've seen it. I've been in boxing groups, and it's just ridiculous how they behave and try to put down Tyson Fury on every turn, which is just really retarded. It's just what it is. Tyson Fury is the number one heavyweight up in the world. It's just what it is. His boxing skills are unparalleled. He can box on the outside. He can box on the inside. He can fight at mid range. He showed his warrior spirit. He showed that even if you hurt him, you got to kill him. You drop him, he gets back up. So there's no way you are just dismissing Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is what he is, and you can try to put him down. And so, listen, he is what he is. He is that good. Okay. And no matter what you say, you're not going to convince me. You're not going to convince a lot of people that he's not good. And I give credit where credit is due. I always give credit where credit is due. Okay. So Tyson Fury, however, cheated. He cheated in the first fight, and he's cheating in the second fight. He cheated in the second fight. And I think that the commissioners need to look into that as they go to do the third fight, which is now geared for the end of the year. It's on. And I hope that at least somebody got to keep an eye on that dude. So Deontay Wilder needs to have alert people in his camp, and people in his camp that are looking out for his best interests, to be able to deal with the situation. And the other person who spoke on this issue, I believe, was I think it was Anthony Durrell that spoke on this issue, where Anthony Durrell talked about how the padding that's removed from the gloves, the padding was removed. He could see that the padding was removed from the Tyson Fury's gloves based on the picture. Now, there was something circulating, a picture circulating that obviously was photoshopped, with Deontay Wilder's glove looking just weird. I don't know what they were trying to do there. And I don't know why it is that, people have to lie. So, I've seen this with the Pacquiao and the Mayweather thing, with the Pacquiao fans always putting up false information and lies. I've even seen, I don't know who these fans are, probably Tyson Fury fans, put up a lie about Deontay Wilder, his Twitter posts and stuff. And I just realized that the fake always puts up lies. Whereas the real, they don't do that. They give you the truth. They give you off of facts. And it's weird seeing these people put out blatant lies to try and somehow validate their side. They think this is politics. This is about the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't participate in fickle, stupid things. You'll notice that. I participate in things which are truthful. And at this point in time, seeing, for example, a Jarrell Baby Miller, he's lying. Like, we all know this. Okay. He cheated. He tried to cheat again, and he got caught. Now, the reasons, I wanted to go beyond that, but the reasons for him cheating, probably because other guys are getting away with it in the business and they're keeping it under hush hush. So he tried to do it again, and he failed. Okay. And my point being that he cheated. I mean, for us to try and, oh, well, he was set up, but no, he cheated. That's why Vada caught him. Okay. It's an open shut case. And I think he should be banned for life. Other people are saying no, he shouldn't be banned for life. He should be banned for life, in my opinion. Unless you give me some information that shows contrary to that, he should be banned for life. Okay. And if Dillian White actually cheated, he should be banned for life. Okay. Which leads me to Dillian White's conversation with Tyson Fury. And interesting what Dillian White is saying. He's saying that Tyson Fury always tries to play the victim in situations. And Tyson Fury said some really nasty, stupid things, like I said before, about Black Lives Matter and the Black Lives Movement. And I've seen some people trying to say that all lives matter. Absolutely. And Black lives are part of all lives. So therefore they matter. So at the end of the day, you can't be, talking about all lives matter and you're leaving out Black lives. You know what I'm saying? If all lives matter, then Black lives matter too. Shit. And so don't be putting your knee down on people. And I listen to people talk about, strangling people and stuff, like police is allowed and is acceptable. Get the fuck out of here. Whoever you are, no. Strangling people is not okay. I don't care if you're law enforcement or not. Strangling people is not okay. Okay? End of story. If I, as a civilian, strangle anyone, it's called domestic abuse or it's called civilian abuse. And I have to go to prison for assault and battery. Okay? So, no, the police can't do that either. Stop it. They can restrain you, which means they can put you in a position where you cannot fight back. All right? If you are resisting arrest, and only then. All right, so let's get that one time straight. Okay? Police cannot strangle you, and they cannot choke you, and they're not supposed to do that. Okay? Any police officer doing that is applying what we call excessive force. That's illegal. Okay? So, no, they can't do that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And you as a civilian, listen, what a lot of people don't know is civilians can implement a civil arrest. For those who know civics, go check that out. It's called a civil arrest. It can be done. So if someone is abusing the law, including a police officer who's supposed to be an agent and an enforcer of the law, if they're not obeying the law, you as civilians can gang up on them and execute a civilian arrest. Go find out more about that. Okay? So if a law enforcement officer is abusing his privileges as an enforcer, you as civilians don't have to just stand there idly. You organize what's called a civilian arrest. All right? And that's what law enforcement officers need to understand. You cannot be abusing your authority, especially in front on camera. Okay? And you can say, okay, officer, I'm going to have to arrest you in the name of law number so. I'm executing a civilian arrest on you. Okay? Go learn the laws so that you can know what to do. And especially if it's a group of U.S. civilians, you can execute that. You can say it, and then you can execute it. All right? Those officers were therefore suspended from duty, and some of them have been arrested. And they post bail, and they got off on bail, which you should not have had, especially if it's murder 3, 2, or 1. There should be no bail for that. Unless those guys decide to escape the country or relocate themselves or go into hiding. So I'm just saying that as your rights and privileges, and I got to that point because we were talking about the fact that choking people and stuff is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. There's no case where it's acceptable to choke someone. Okay. All right. So just getting that out there as a civil society. Uh, but going back to what I was saying about boxing, because we're trying to keep it boxing, Tyson Fury is guilty of cheating. And I'm a Tyson Fury fan, and I probably continue to be a Tyson Fury fan. I still think he would beat Anthony Joshua when it comes down to it. A lot of people think that Anthony Joshua would beat Tyson Fury. I don't know. I just think that Tyson Fury has more tools than Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua showed us he can box. It's great. I just don't see him boxing Tyson Fury. He's gonna have to come to him. Um, but I think the game plan to beat a Tyson Fury is going to be a very difficult one because Tyson Fury can meet you on the inside, and I think he has better infighting skills than Anthony Joshua has, quite frankly. But that's for another day. He does get caught though with the right hand, and he can be dropped with the right hand. So Anthony Joshua has a very decent right uppercut that he can translate into a right uppercut, left hook, and that could get Tyson Fury in all kinds of problems. But again, those are short punches, and he has to close the distance to get that to happen. So I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Uh Good fight though. I would like to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. I think Tyson Fury runs over Anthony Joshua. I think his tougher task would have been against Deontay Wilder because his unorthodox nature, the fact he throws the right hand, but the way how Tyson Fury was able to nullify that right hand, rolling it off the jab and stuff like that. I don't know, man. He's gonna be a hard guy to beat. Period. I just wish he would stop cheating so that he could fight with a level playing field. You don't have to cheat to win. I just don't get that point. But I guess he wanted to look spectacular. Nonetheless, I think he's cheating, and he doesn't need to do that. And it really annoys me when other people who really just don't like him say they accuse him of cheating because, and then I have to come out and say, well, you know what, the accusations are true, even though the way how they're saying it and the facts that they're bringing is crap. And I don't really like saying that, but that's the way how that goes. Well, I'm what you need. I hope you guys was enjoying this channel and the content that it is on here. Those of you who want to like, share, subscribe. The third thing that I'm supposed to talk about, I just forgot what it was. That's why I'm kind of sitting down here talking about the Tyson Fury thing. But I really want to go into the other thing, which I can't remember what it exactly was. It'll come to me in a minute. I don't know. I think it was a principle. Anybody remember? I hope we're broadcasting because I'm not seeing anybody come through. Nobody's come through for the last couple of minutes, but anyway. It's the last thing I had there. Let me see. Can I find my title? Let me see if I can find my title. Let me see. Oh, that's the other side of the room right there. What's this? Oh, we can change how the screen looks. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna mess around with that for a second. That's kind of cool. Huh. Back to me. Okay. All right. This is kind of cool. I like this. This is interesting. Oh, nice. Yeah, so let's see here. Okay. So if nobody has anything extra to say, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to wrap it up because I can't remember what the last topic is. As soon as I get to it and I see what the topics are here, I'll be able to comment on it. But I don't want to waste any extra time. So I'm what you need. If you liked what you saw, the content here, you can always subscribe, share, donate to me via Western Union Monogram. I'm going to catch you guys later, man. Peace. I'm out. Oh, this is dope. Say highlight. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.